This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Good evening, online. Online, good evening. Yes, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Good, good. Okay, so hope everyone are doing good. What did we discuss in our last class? Okay, R back. Thank you, Hussein bhai. Yeah, you too. R back and then Diman said. Ah, oh, services we learned, right? So node cluster IP, node port, load balancer, target ports. All these things we have learned already. So we have completed till there, right? So today we need to start what? I gave that task. Dashboard done, huh? Really? Huh? Dashboard. Very good. How about you online? Offline people done. How about you? Super. Maza aa gaya? Right? How did you log in? Using token only, right? So you generated the token. Super. Very good. Uh, huh? TLS error. That's fine. That's fine. You can ignore the TLS error. But it is getting the namespaces and all. You are getting able to see the dashboard, nice graphs and all. Super. Do one thing. So you have the steps. Share it. Share it to me. I'll put it in the Google Classroom. Good one. So this what? And so use that node port concept there. Node port, target ports, right? Load balancer, right? Very good. So that's the reason why I gave that task to you. And that is good to do it, but we'll not be using much because we'll be using only CLI. But remember, in Docker also we use a portainer. So similarly here also we have Kubernetes dashboard for that. That's fine. Okay. So guys, I'll be putting that. I would not say it's not important, but it's good to know everything. Okay. Yeah. Only CLI is important, but compared to GUI, CLI is morely used in Kubernetes. Okay, ma. So online, can you see my screen? Okay. Today, the the next wonderful topic. By the way, I just set up the cluster for you already. You know how to set up the cluster. We have been doing so many days. Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything. So let's go for with the concept called metric server. What is that? Metric server. So metric server is really, really important. And we also call it as hipster. Say that? Hipster. Metric server, or we call it as what? Hipster. Till now, we created a deployments. We have deployed the applications. We have done a lot of things in the Kubernetes already. But the thing is, we have been doing manual scale out and manual scale in. Yes or no? Manual scale out and then manual. What's the command to do that? kubectl scale and then whatever it is, and then put the replicas as how much ever you want, and scale out and then scaling. So we were doing it manually or not? We were doing it manually. So now the time has come to do this auto scaling. What's that? Auto scaling. So let us set up a lot of things here. Before that, I just wanted to tell you what this actually metric server is, what are the components it has, what this metric server mainly used for. So little bit theory here. You I don't like to go and read all these things, but I'll just tell you quickly what is this is. So this for monitoring purpose or not quickly. So if you want to monitor, right? So what we have here, metric server. So efficient source for monitoring the overall health and performance of what? Kubernetes cluster. Providing the data needed for Kubernetes feature like HPA. What's that? Very important. What's that? Say that again. What's the full form of HPA? Horizontal pod autoscaler. The concept of auto scaling in Kubernetes HPA. There is also something called VPA, horizontal pod autoscaler, and then V meaning vertical pod autoscaler. You tell me which one is preferable to you, horizontal or vertical? Horizontal. Which one? So that meaning people will prefer what? HPA rather than VPA. So horizontal meaning what? Creating multiple pods. Creating multiple pods. That meaning it is horizontally scaling it. Vertical scaling meaning existing pod you are scaling up, scaling down. So we'll not be doing like that mostly. And it is very rare case. But mostly we'll go with what? Horizontal auto scaling. So what are, and also the dashboard, Kubernetes dashboard that you set up already. And then what are the key features here we have is resource metric. What is it, Nana? In worker node, which is the active wala in worker node? Which is the agent? Kubelet. Which is that agent there? Kubelet. See, Kubelet is a guy who will be collecting all the metrics from that node and giving to this metric server. What is the name? What we are learning here is what? Metric server. Say that? Metric server. So see a resource metric meaning collects CPU and memory usage metric from the kubelets and provide aggregated metrics at the node and then pod level. Who is the guy who is doing this? Kubelets. So if you have worker nodes, how many worker nodes are there here? 2 worker nodes. In these 2 worker nodes, kubelets are there or not? Each kubelet will collect the CPU and memory information of that node and will send it to whom? Master. In master, what we have? Metric server. What we have? We need to install metric server separately. We need to install what? Metric server. You know very well about auto scaling. We have been learning a lot about auto scaling. When the simple, till now we are using manual scaling, scale out and scaling, right? Are we using any conditions there? No. So here in HPA, anyways metric server is getting the CPU information or not? So when the CPU is going greater than this much percentage, automatically pods will come up. That is what? Auto scaling. So in order to get that CPU utilization, memory utilization, what we need to have? Metric server. For that reason, we need to install metric servers first. And then on top of it, we go and set up what? HPS. Understood? So, and then also what you have? Kubernetes dashboard. So dashboard will also show you nicely. So what are the usage of all the pods and the nodes? You'll see it. So how the metric servers work? Who will collect the entire information? Kubelets and pass it to whom? Metric server. So metric server main responsibility. What is the main thing that we use here? What is his? HPA. What is that? HPA or auto scaling. We do it. Okay. So should we go and install the metric server? There is nothing. There is already one manifest file. What you need to do? You just need to that manifest file is in the GitHub Kubernetes. So we just need to run that manifest file. What's the command to run any manifest file? kubectl create or kubectl apply. So we'll take this and then what we do? Install. Boom. So just now, so metric server got installed or not? Do we have any pods, Nana, here? Do we have any pods? kubectl get pods. Okay. So kubectl get nodes. So we have the nodes here. So metric servers, we just install it, right? So we need to wait for 1 or 2 minutes because what it need to get entire collection aggregate, he need to do it, information need to get it or not. But let's see here, what's the command here to get kubectl top, say that, kubectl top nodes, say that, kubectl top nodes. And do you see this already? It got already. See here, CPU percentage, how much it is using, memory, how much it is using, bytes, 48% in bytes, in the percentages. And then here we have a concept called CPU cores. What is that? CPU cores. So one core is equal to so here 1000 millicores. What is that? 1000 millicores. One core is what here? 1000 millicores. So that meaning here in Kubernetes we do everything with millicores. What is that here? Millicores. 1 liter is equal to how many milliliters? Yeah. Similarly here only. One core is equal to 1000 millicores. So who is the guy who is getting all this information here? Metric server. What is that here? We have metric. So who will give entire information to metric server? Kubelets. Kubelets are the one who will be doing it. Okay. So as I said, we will go for HPA or VPA. We go with what none here? Yeah. So HPA is horizontal pod auto scaling. Scales the number of pods based on what? CPU and memory utilization. So, and then here we have what? Vertical PPA. So vertical, I mean that VPA meaning here, it's like scale up and scale down. So adjust the CPU memory request limits of a pod dynamically to improve the resource performance, right? So what you need to do is, but this VPA by default, you don't get it from the Kubernetes. You need to install separately. What you need to do? Install. So for that reason, if it is mostly commonly used, Kubernetes will provide automatically. So as it is not that much used, whenever there is a requirement, you need to go for VPA. So which one is better all the time? HPA, VPA? HPA is best. But you should also know what VPA is. VPA meaning dynamically increasing the existing resources. You have EC2 instance, T2 micro, 1 GB RAM. If you want to scale up, what you do? Change it to T2 small. So 1 GB will become 2 GB. This one is best, or auto scaling, creating multiple machines is best. Multiple machines, but because auto scaling meaning whenever there is a load, automatically machines will come up, and when there is no load, machines will come down. But if you're scaling up, for how long will you do the up? And you are dealing with only one machine. So for that reason here, we need to go for HPS. And now for VPS, we have something called CRD. Say that. Custom resource definitions. Say that. You need to install the VPA separately. What is that? CRD. Say that word. CRD. Custom resource definition. We need to install that separately. Okay, now, so I have given the nice explanation here for you about auto scaling. You know very well about auto scaling. Whenever, let's give the example, whenever CPU utilization is going more than 10%, what will happen? Scale out. So 70%, what will happen? Scale out. And if it's going less than that, scale will happen. And who will do the major role here? Or metric server? Without metric server, can you do HPS? No. See, before scaling, process will wait for a few minutes to scale in to complete the traffic request. Yes or no? Whenever there is no load, scaling will happen or not? But if there any requests are coming inside it, it has to process the request or not. So with this Kubernetes will wait for certain time. That is called cooling period. What period is that? What period is that here? Cooling period. Okay. So without any further delay, what we do is, let's go and set up the auto scaling here. See, the concept, the architecting is like this. First, we'll use the same deployment that we are using before. Which one is that? That manifest file is, this is the manifest file. What's the kind here? Deployment. What MB deployment? MB meaning here, which one I'm using here? Mobile banking repo, I'm using it. I have one more Docker Hub repository, right? RIA Docker, right? Because you saw the password, no? Nice. So there is also another old one that I'm using before. So there also we have it. Okay. So then what we do, we create it, and then what we do, we get the pods, and then what we do, we see the pod utilization, what's happening. And then what we do here now here, we will be creating the deployment. How many replicas are there? 3 replicas. But now what I do is, we will set up the auto scale for this. What we do, in order to do the auto scaling, first you need to set up the deployment or not. You need to have the application first of all, right? So you need to set up the deployment first, and then on top of it, you need to create what? Auto scaling. You know how to set up the deployment, and what is the command that you need to use here? See here, kubectl auto scale. Which one you are auto scaling? Deployment. What is the name of the deployment? MB deployment, mobile banking. And then what you are putting here? CPU percentage as how much? 20%. If it is reaching CPU percentage as 20%, minimum 1, maximum how many it will scale out? 10. Guys, this is the imperative. That meaning I'm using what? Command here. Anything is fine. You can go with the command also. You can go with the manifest file also. So replicas are there here. 3 replicas are there. And I have already set up a auto scaling here. What is the maximum pods here will create? What is the CPU utilization? Now I have only 3 pods. 3 pods CPU utilization will be 20%. Anyone is using? No one is using. What I need to do now? I log into the one pod and then I'll pinch him. That meaning what? I'll increase the load. I'll increase the CPU utilization. I'll increase the memory utilization manually. I'll stress the machine. Whenever it stress the machine, our matrix server, what is doing? It is monitoring the CPU utilization or not. We already have given the condition saying that, hey, Kubernetes. So you have given the command here. What did you given? kubectl auto scale this deployment whenever the CPU utilization is going greater than 70%. I manually stressing it. So now matrix server will understand the CPU utilization is going greater than 20%. Now what will happen? Scale out will happen. So fatafat number of pods will get created automatically or not? And if I leave it just like that after some time, what will happen? Scaling will happen. What is this concept called? Auto scaling. In Kubernetes, we call it as HPA. Should implement this now? Okay, let's do. Okay, so what we do first? We'll create the deployment here. So we'll take this same. Okay, so go and create. Let's call it as auto. Auto. This is clear for you? How many replicas are there? 3 replicas. So it is using the mobile banking repo. Okay, run this. kubectl create -f auto. Created a kubectl get pods. So those are creating. So if can I see what is the command to see the utilization? kubectl top pods. Okay. So what it says here? Metrics not available yet. So what it's saying? Array, shut up and wait for some time. Yes or no? Because it just even it is in the creating container state is not there running. So let's wait. Okay, now it came or not? So here, see here. CPP codes, and then it is using CPU utilization and all, right? So now, how many are they running? kubectl get, how many are they running? Now we will set the auto scaling for this now, for this deployment. What's the command? kubectl auto scale. Which one? Deployment. Which deployment? MB deployment. And what is the metric you're using? CPU percentage. How much? 20 for your wish. And then what is the minimum? Minimum you put 1 or 2 your wish, and then maximum you put here 10. I think it's already injected in your brain or the command. right? kubectl auto scale deployment, MB deployment, CPU percentage, minimum 20%, minimum 1, maximum 10. So there is a syntax error or any spelling mistake. Huh? Unknown flag. Percent. Or is that? It is percent. Habit, no, percentage we'll say. Okay, let's go. Auto scaled or not? Now auto scaling got created. Auto scaling got created. My pods are still how many? 3. Any auto scaling happening here? No. Why? Because there is no load. Because there is no load. Just now we created HPA, no? What is the command to list the HPA? kubectl get HPA. Was that kubectl get HPA? So we already created. What is the percentage we have given? But here percentage is only 1%. How many mini pods, minimum pods? 1, maximum 10. How many replicas are there here? 3. Is it the CPU utilization is increasing here? How much is there? Only 1%. Now what we do? We'll manually stress it or not. So I need to log into one of the pod or not, first of all. Okay, what's the command to list the pods? Bit pod is here already. I'll take this, one of the pod here. Tell me the command to go inside the pod. kubectl, yeah, kubectl exec hyphen it, and then hyphen bin bash. I went inside it, and then what we do first? Apt update. So there is a package called stress. There is a package called what? Stress. You can use that. Apt install which one? Stress. Guys, there is a stress command. I already took it from ChatGPT, right? So we can use that stress command for you. Do you see this here? Stress. What's the command here? And by the way, no need to by heart all these commands. Remember, all the deployment files, all these things, no need to by heart. Okay, you need to understand the logic first of all. This everything you will everywhere you get it the commands. Okay, stress. How many CPUs you are stating here? 8 CPUs. That meaning it is launching 8 CPU stressors. And then I was here. So IO input outputs again. How many stressors that you are doing? 4. And then VMs also virtual memory. How many stresses you are doing? 2. And then you're increasing. And then you are stressing for how many seconds? 60 seconds, 1 minute. So let's stress it now with this. And I have given you the information about the commands also here, arguments. So I'll just copy. Before this, can I open a new window? And then what we do? kubectl get pods hyphen. You can do hyphen watch also. You can do hyphen w also. W no. Okay. Hyphen w. Okay. Hyphen w. This is also fine. So it's auto scaled. Huh? It's auto scale already. It's auto scale already. I didn't even use the what stress, but it's already auto scale. How many were there before? 3. But do you see the age? It's few seconds back only it got automatically auto scale. But if I stress it again, it will auto scale or not? Let's do. Boom. So it has how many auto scale? 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Do you see this? Do you see this? Auto scaling is happening or not? because I manually stressing it here. So automatically, even I didn't need to stress, but automatically it got auto scaled automatically. So do you see this here? Lively, how you are doing auto scaling? So if you are not using it, then what will happen here? Scale in will happen. What happens? Scale in will happen. Stress completed here. So auto scale happen. I'm exiting it. Okay. kubectl get HPA. What is there? Oh, how much it went? 98%. We have given bloody only how much? 20%. So that's the reason why it is already replicated to what higher? 10 replicas. Maximum it reached already. Okay. Is it clear? Auto scaling online. So if you want to see the events, what's the command to see the events? kubectl get. So in the events, just in case if anything goes wrong, of anything problem, so automatically you can see everything in the events. In events, you will get to know what is happening with the cluster. So new size 5, so new size 8, new size, it's keep on increasing or not? Everything you can see using this one. Online, clear please. So let's delete this. How to delete our pods and all? kubectl delete hyphen. I told you this command also. Hyphen F and which one? Gone or not? Do we have anything here? All are getting terminated. So guys, I showed you with what? Auto scaling through command. Through what? Can we do the same thing with manifest file also or not? GUI छोड़ दो, we'll not be using it. बच्चे खेलते हैं उससे, right? So I showed you with what, Nana? With the commands. And this you can also do is what? Manifest file. I know for that reason I have given one example here for you. Guys, all this is to check the logs events. We know this already. You can play around with all these things and see example with what? Manifest file. So deployment, you need to create it first of all, normally. In order to do the first of all, auto scaling, you need to have the deployment or not. So create it and do you see this here? If you cannot see this here properly, I'm just, okay. Now see whether you understand or not. Tell me. You understood? Huh? Understood? Understood? If you understood, what is it doing? What's the meaning of it? Huh? I know scale target ref only. What is the concept logic behind that? Yes or no? See, here in this file, it is referring name as IB deployment. What's the name it is referring? But do we have IB deployment here? In this manifest file, do we have the IB deployment? No. But we already created IB deployment or not? We are referring that here. So that meaning you can create a manifest file, multiple manifest file with multiple deployment names. For IB deployment, you can create a separate HPA. For MB deployment, you create a separate HPA. For incidences, separate HPA. For every service, you have automatic auto scaling or not? This is how you need to design. Understood? So in order to implement this, what I need to do, so as I thought that you will be asking, sir, you did it through the command prompt. No, CLI. So please give us this manifest file also. For that reason, today only I kept that afternoon. Okay. So in order to set up auto scaling, what do you need to do now first? First, you need to create a deployment. Say that first you need to create what? Online. You're getting Nana. Cities. No, Hussein. So you don't need to buy it. Do you need to buy out all these things? Don't at all worry about this. But you should know what are these components are doing. So that whenever you are writing, just in case writing a manifest file by yourself or modifying any existing manifest file, you should know how to call another deployment, another resources in manifest file. Then you should use this what? Target reference. Okay. No need to remember all these things. Okay. So in order to set up HPA, what are the things we need to? First, you need to create a deployment. That manifest file is there to do the deployment or not? Yes or no? Okay. And then you create a HPA, run it, and then automatically scale up and scale out and scale in or not? Do I have to show this again? Yes or no? Do I need to show or do I move it? What? Not required? Huh? Not required. No. So what is there here? Online. Tell me, Babu. Yeah. So what's the command to delete it? kubectl delete HPA. What's the HPA name? I gave the output is there. IB hyphen and delete. Okay, so do we have kubectl get pods? Do we have anything? Okay, so please, okay, sir, you skipped HPA manifest file, sir. So I don't want to take that blame. So let's do it again. Let's do it online. So because online didn't reply to me, so let us do that again. So, but this time you should tell me how to do it. Okay? Tell me how to do it. VI auto is there already. So what we need to do? We just need to, so cat auto. So we already have it or not? This one. Replicas 3 are there. So how to run this first? Online, tell me how to run. Online, tell me the command, please. Apply -F. Okay. After that, so we need to have that manifest file or not? So vi hpa dot yml. Actually, you should. No, these guys are not lazy. No. Prajur. Okay. So here, do you see before I created just now deployment, right? So what is the deployment name I have given here? IB deployment. Nana, it is here. Kubernetes, I'm going very, very deep. Because in real time nowadays, everything is Kubernetes. Actually, by this time, we would have finished Kubernetes. Yes or no, Karthik? We are done mostly. But here, I'm just going and pinching each and every topic and getting out of it. Right? So, I understand Kubernetes, I mean, number of days are going higher, but still, no problem. So, Ramzan is also started. Actually, in Ramzan, I will stop all the classes. You guys don't know. All these many years, I'll not be having the classes in the month of Ramadan generally, because this time I should be in somewhere else. Other people knows. But I actually your batch should get finished by February 28th. I said before, right? But the topics that we are going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? That's why the number of days got increased, and we are doing lots of projects or not. Every tools we are doing the projects, right? So you should be even more super energetic than me, right? Yeah. Uh, yes, Tawzib. So you understand this one, guys? You understood this? So previously I created the auto scaling using the command. That was through command. Command is very simple, one line, right? But here you see this here, manifest file, and sometimes imperative is better, sometimes declarative is better. So in this case, going with one line and writing this entire manifest file, it's taking time, right? For that reason, sometimes you go with the imperative, with a simple command, that's completely fine. The only thing is what? Creation is the only thing. Command, manifest file, what is the difference? Both are doing the same thing. It will just create it and that's it. We don't do anything else. So after running this command, my HPA will get created. Before command, HPA got created. Only creation method is different. There's nothing else here. Okay. So, okay, how to run this? Tell me. kubectl, create hyphen F, HPA. HPA got created or not? Hmm. Now, correct, Dinesh. Okay, kubectl get HPA. It says what it says here? Unknown. That meaning it is still sleeping. It is still sleeping. So slowly it will get it. kubectl pods. 3 pods are running. My HPA is also there. kubectl get HPA. Both are there. If I just leave it like this, automatically what will happen? Don't, Sumalik, I'll stress it. You don't stress me. Okay, I'll stress it. Okay, wait. So previously, without stressing it, it auto scaled, right? I'm just checking now whether it is getting auto scaled or not, right? Correct, correct, correct. That much, 98. That is fine. Before running that command also, 3-4 pods got auto scaled. Apt gets and all, right? Yeah, fine. Okay, so let's go kubectl get what? Pods. Let's go in inside and then do it. kubectl, which one? Exec, hyphen, it, and then hyphen, bin bash. In single HPA manifest, can we write HPA for more parts? Yes, Python. I told you already multi-manifest files, right? Nested manifest files, right? Yes, Rajnikant. Okay, I'm inside it. And what I need to do? Apt, update. And then let's test the CPUs now. Meanwhile, what I do? So, kubectl, get pods hyphen. Yeah, okay. Next. I did know. Apt install. Okay, apt install what? Stress. They are there. And now it's not happened. No, see. Huh? No, I need to exit. That's fine. Let's run. Oh, yeah. Okay, do you want to do this? kubectl get HPA. It's not yet. Okay, let's do. So what's that command? Oh, not that. Stress command. Matrix server itself got stressed or what? Yeah. Now also it's not coming up. Okay. Okay. So exit. So let's see kubectl get what events. So there is something warning came. MB deployment failed get scale. Do you see this here? Horizontal pod autoscaler didn't have it. It's not MB deployment not found. Acha. Ah. You see troubleshooting? Guys, you Kubernetes masters. And enough. Okay, now you found it. Where should I edit it now? In the manifest file, right? So that's how you need to, whenever something is not working, so what you need to do? Just troubleshoot. What is the command I used? kubectl get events, and then you get everything here and you can modify it. So if you do ls, so vi hpa, and then here is ib only. There, mb, huh? Okay. So no problem. Here, if I say IB here, that's fine. So it will create one more new deployment or not? Yeah. Huh? Last line also. That's fine. We are not using the application, no. Okay. So what we do is kubectl apply. If I apply again, my image will change on or not? Yes, because the power of deployment kind. Kind is deployment. -f, which one? Auto. So anyways, IB, right? So new deployment got created. That's completely fine. Okay. Here, okay, okay. Do you see this here? Okay. So fine. So now you got the troubleshooting also a little bit. It's good to get all these things. Fine. Online is clear cities. Let's delete it. kubectl. Delete -f. Which one? Auto. And delete which one? HPA. kubectl get HPA. Everything is clean. Deployment is still there. Huh? kubectl get deploy. Okay. kubectl. Which one? Delete. Which one? Deploy. MB-. Deployment. All are gone. Clear on the auto scaling, everyone? With command and then with manifest also. Super. So now let's go with the, as we are talking about this metric server. So the related topic is something called resource quota. What is that? Resource quotas. Online put in the chat, Anna, what is that? Resource quotas. Simple. You don't need to read blah, 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 same things. But I told you here, remember, one CPU is equal to 1000 milli CPUs. See here, no need to read. Quota, you know what is the concept. Resource quota. Let's say here in this room, how many seats are there? For example, 50. 50 is the quota or not? So here we have something called request and limit. Say that. Request and then limit. What's the limit here? 50. Request, how many? It's a 30. Request should increase more than limit. Huh? Yes or no? We cannot increase, right? So here, let's say, for example, I have the host machine. I have the host machine. So host machine. So if I don't put any limit for the pods, remember in Docker also I have set the limits. So we have set the limits or not? So we have put the CPU limit and then we get the Docker stats command and then we have set the limits or not. Similarly here also for the pods, we can set the limits. So how much this particular namespace, dev namespace is there. In this dev namespace, let's say I'm the Kubernetes admin. So you're all dev team. So you have asked me to create a dev namespace. I created a dev namespace. In the dev namespace, I don't want to utilize all my CPUs and memories. What I'll do, I will restrict it. What I'll do, I will restrict it. So how do I restrict? Using service quotas. Using what? So I will tell you that, hey Babu, for this dev namespace, the maximum limit is these many CPUs, this much memory, you can do it. So out of that, if you're trying to create the pods, let's say I've given you 300 MB, for example, how much memory? 300 MB. It's up to you. Each pod, how much memory you allocate, but maximum I have given what? Let's say for each pod, you are giving 100 MB. How much? 100 MB. How many pods you can create? 3 pods. If you say replica 4, will it create? That is a service, not service. Service quotas is in AWS. This is what? Resource quotas. Got this? Online, got it, Nana? Okay, see here. What I'm doing first here, creating a dev namespace. You already do this. We are setting the context to dev. And what is the command to see the which namespace we are using? Okay. You should say thank you to me, right? Because the notepad that I have created is ultimate for you, right? Everything with, I'm writing this also in brackets, what this is doing. Okay, good. Can you tell me what this is doing? Okay, let's not like do it. Let's go and do like this. So first of all, what we do, we will create a dev namespace, or you can create any namespace. What's the command? kubectl create ns, which one? Dev, and set the context. kubectl config set hyphen context current hyphen namespace is equal to which one? If you want to see kubectl config, by this I can say you're doing very nice practice. Good. Nice. Okay. So what we do is, let's go, and what I want to do is, for this dev namespace, we are setting the hard limit. I'm setting here what? Hard limit. Hard limit meaning here maximum. For this dev namespace, the maximum number of CPUs is this. Maximum number of GB memory size is this. I'm setting for the every namespace. Can I set it differently or not? Okay. So let's create a dev quota. What's that? Dev quota.yaml. So inside this, this is bloody only T2 micro only, right? Okay, see, what is the kind we are using here? This is a new one or not? So what is the kind we are using here? Online, put it in chat. Resource quota. And what is the name of my quota? Dev quota. And to which namespace I'm allocating this? Dev namespace specification. I'm putting a hard limit saying that how many maximum number of pods in this namespace, maximum how many pods? 5. And then how many CPUs I'm giving? 1. And then how much memory I'm giving? 1 GB. This is 1 CPU. And this is 1 GB. Online. So how many maximum pods I can create in this here? 5 pods. Let's do. Okay. Command. kubectl create hyphen f, which one? Dev quota correct. What is the command to list the quotas? kubectl get quota. Say that. Say that here. kubectl get quota. Can you tell me? So see that output and what you understand from that output. Tell me. I have given the limits here for this dev namespace. I have given the limit. In this, how many pods I can create here? 5 pods. And then what's the limit of this dev namespace? CPU limits is 1 CPU, and then memory is how much? 1 GB. Can you tell me one imperative command to create a pod? kubectl run, let's say pod 1 hyphen image is equal to nginx, for example. Will this command work? Will this command work? Huh? How many? Bolo. Subhasho. Okay. By this error, tell me what? So we are for this dev quota, we have set the limits or not. So you cannot create a pod without the limits. Like this, we can restrict in real time. These testers, this so-called, we will create something namespaces, right, for them. They will create how much ever they like. But what I do is we set a limit saying that, boss, for this is the limit. Because nothing will come for free, no? Yeah. So now what we do, instead of running the pod directly, what we need to do, we need to give the CPU memory details. So which one is good, imperative or declarative? We'll go with the declarative. So I have written a YAML file, the same thing, but extra thing is, so in the bottom we have the container details, right? Container details image will be there, right? In the bottom of the image, we'll put, right, resources. What we say? So resources here, we'll put the, okay, maximum 1 GB, Dinesh. Do you see this here? Let's go here, vi, let's say deploy dot resource dot yml, for example. So the bottom, everything is same. Do you see in the here? Sorry, top, everything is same. Do you see the bottom, Nana? What did I say? Resources. What did I put here? Limit. What's the CPU here? 1 CP. And what's the memory I'm using here? 512. Will it work or not? Obviously, it will work. But how many replicas you created? By the time you should get the logic here, right? How many replicas? What is the day maximum limit we have given? 1 GB. And how many replicas you are creating? 3. Each of 512. So will it work? How many pods will create? Only one pod should create technically or not? Should we check it? Should we check it? Let's see. Okay, tell me the command. Do we have any pods? Get pods. No pods, right? Tell me the command. kubectl create -f, which one? Resource. If I do kubectl get pods, how many got created? And that too, one is also in pending state. After some time it will come. Okay, so but is it good? Is it so? You are setting something limit, and your request is something which is going greater than the limit, which is not at all good. So delete this deployment command. kubectl, which one? Resource. Okay. Now what we need to do? Can you tell me if I want to create 3 replicas, how much vi resource? How much CPU I need to put and how much memories I need to put? Mathematics. How much? CPUs how many? 0 point. Very good. 0.3. Should I put 3? 3 minutes go for 3 CPUs. So 0.3 and memory 300 plus 300 plus 300. Okay, na 900. So now it will create or not? How many it will create? But guys, please see, I'm dealing with a bloody T2 micro in worker node. So sometimes it will create, sometimes it will not get, because we are playing with the maximum limit, 1 GB, right? Yeah. Because there have kubelets are there, container runtime is there, kube proxy is there, all these things also will work. And by the way, I'll give you one small thing that that is not in our, I just found, there is one thing called, we are using KOps, no? Similarly, there is something called kind tool. Have you heard about it? Not the kind which we are using in Kubernetes. KIND. Say that. KIND. Huh? Ah, KIND. I wrote you to make you understand KIND. But the tool name is what? Kind. आपका होस्ट उड़ जाएगा. See, Kubernetes, we are setting up the Kubernetes cluster now using KOps. One master node T2 medium, 2 worker nodes. That meaning, and how many volumes are created in the backend? How many VPCs, security groups, everything got creating or not? Auto scaling, load balance, everything. There is a tool called kind, K for Kubernetes. Kubernetes in Docker. Kubernetes in Docker container. Entire Kubernetes cluster is in one container. Just imagine. Kubernetes itself is very big. That entire Kubernetes, this kind is putting into one container. Entire cluster will be in one container. Find out. This is not in our syllabus. So just to make you more interesting about it. So we call it as, that's what kind. KIND. KIND meaning Kubernetes in Docker. Ulta. Docker in Kubernetes. So Docker runtime in the Kubernetes. But this Kubernetes will be inside the Docker. Simply you need to have one machine. You need to install the Docker engine and then install the kind software and then kind command, kind create cluster name, and then give the master work. Automatically one container will be created, and kind kubectl, same commands, kubectl get cluster invite, kubectl get parts, everything will work. थोड़ा होगा. But no, it is not, it will not take in that much space also. Don't expect to go T2 large, medium, and no, you go with T2 small, it will work. Try it out. Okay, fine. Let's go to our stuff. What we're talking about? We change the limits, right? What is this main purpose? K and D. If you want to set up something chumma immediately, if you want to work simply, Kubernetes kind K and D, you entire Kubernetes normal it is very heavy, right? But if you want to be very light Kubernetes cluster, then go for kind. But it's not a production based stuff. Just for fun purpose, you can do it. Okay, now, so should we go and create it now? kubectl. But do we have any pods? No. So kubectl create -f, which one? Resource. Got created. So how many pods will created now? So 3 pods got created or not? Got it? You understand the resource limits, guys? 3 pods are nicely running. So if you say kubectl get quota, so we have the quota. How many pods are there maximum in this dev? Can I set it? Guys, super real time. In the dev namespace, I am restricting Babu, dev people, you can create maximum how many pods? 5. Inside that already your quota 3 is done. Do you see 3/5 there? Only how many pods are left? 2. If any junior come and start, hey dev, I want to create one more pod. Shall we? Then they will come to you. You will get the error, Somalika. They will come to you saying that please increase the quota. Then you can make build up. You can do build up or not? Yes, sir. So you need to go and say, yeah, just go and create a ticket, let it get approved, and then come to us. This will take 3 days to work. But that is also one command to increase it. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Online, is this clear, everyone, please? Online clear? So delete it, guys. kubectl. Which one? Delete. -f. Which one? Resource. And then kubectl. What was that? Another one? Quotas, right? Okay, we can delete the. Okay, that's fine. So, but we'll go back to. We'll set back to our default namespace. What, Dinesh? You didn't understood quotas? I have confusion here. 900 MB. Okay. I have given you 1,000 rupees. So you, Dinesh, you asked me, sir, I want to do a party. Give me money. So I have given you 1,000 rupees. How much? I given you 1,000 rupees. That is the quota limit I have said to you. And then I said, do pandaga, do festival. How many? So, and then what you got is, in this, you are going for buffet. Your buffet price, each price is how much? 300 rupees. How much? 300 buffet. Now tell me, will you take 3 friends or 4 friends? Dinesh, 3 friends or 4 friends? 3 only. Why 3? Each person 300 rupees. 300 plus 300 plus 300. Ho gaya. If you have one more person, 200 rupees shortage. But do you have the money? No. You need to adjust with only 3 people. Same concept here. Okay. And then you can ask, sir, what should I do with the 100 rupees? Huh? What's that? Auto charges. Yeah. Petrol charges. Okay. Tip. Tip. Okay. If you're going 3 people and you're giving 100 rupees tip, you will see niche se upar. Okay. That's nice. Is this clear on this? Should we go over the next important topic? Online. Online. No. Online. Clear, please. Monica Tech. Monica, are you from other institute or what? Your name is confusing for me. So you're telling that you are technical, no? Just. Okay. So guys, let's move on to next powerful topic. Very, very important topic. We call it as volumes. What's that? PV. Say that. Persistent volume. Say that. So in Kubernetes, we have a concept called stateless, stateful. Say that. So whenever you delete a pod, the pod will get deleted or not. And then corresponding data will also get deleted. What is that called? Stateless. What is that called? Stateful meaning if you delete the pod, but still the data is persistent. That means still the data is there. Where we can store the data in our external storage like EBS volume. Remember in Docker also I told you? In Docker also we use the external volume or not? Similarly here also I show you how to use our external volumes like EBS in our Kubernetes. Because in real time, what happens in real time, it is not at all good. Okay. If you have auto scaling concept and then you don't have data to be saved inside it, that's completely fine. You can go for stateless applications. We call it a stateless application, stateful application. Say that. Stateless, stateful. Sir, how do we remember stateless full? Which one? Okay. If data is lost, less or not? Data क्या हो गया? Less हो गया. Stateless. If data is lost, stateless. If data is there, full. Remember that. Many people will put the wrong answers in interviews. Yes or no? In interview also they will say ulta. When I ask what is stateful, stateless differences, then they'll say, sir, stateless meaning data is persistent, stateful is mean data is lost. Then to remember, I'm just telling you stateful meaning full. Data is full. Stateless meaning data is less, gone. Okay, good. We call it as PV. Say that. Remember our PV Sindhu. Huh? PV. PV meaning what? Persistent volume. Online put in the chat, Nana. What is PV? PV meaning persistent volumes. Online put in the chat. Persistent volumes. So here we have a concept called PV and PVC. Say that. Online say that, Nana. PV and then PVC. Persistent volume and persistent volume claim. Say that. PV and then what you have? PVC. PV meaning what? Persistent volume. PVC meaning what? Persistent volume claim. What's the meaning of claim? Gain, right? Claim meaning to get it. To get it. So here, I'm assume that I am the PV, persistent volume. That meaning I have a lot of data. So, okay, let's see. So this is the pod. This is the pod. Okay. Today online. This is the pod. So in the pod, we need to have a data or not? So what I need to have? I need to have the volume here or not? But where do we get that volume? You cannot create the volume here because if the pod is gone, this volume is also gone. So for that reason, just keep it aside. So what I have is, I have the EBS volume. This is EBS. This is external storage or not? What is this here? External storage. So I'll create a persistent storage first of all. In Kubernetes, what I create a persistent volume. What I create here, persistent volume. So persistent volume, let's assume this GB is how much GB here? 20 GB. So I create a persistent volume called here, how much? 20 GB. So you cannot directly get that persistent volume here because you have multiple pods or not. So multiple pods. This pod, guys, this is a pod. This pod need how much volume? You want 5 or 10 or 2 or your wish. I have the storage readily available. This is in AWS. This is in Kubernetes. So I'll get the AWS in the Kubernetes here by creating a persistent volume. And then I have the center. You can think of persistent volume is like a centralized storage in Kubernetes. And you create pods, right? And pod claim the volume how much ever you want. You said claim meaning what? Gain. Get it. How much you want. So here I have this pod. Can I have multiple pods also or not? Yes. So what I create is I create one more thing called persistent volume claim. Say that. Persistent volume claim. You can claim the whole size also, or you can claim how much ever size. So from this, you get it here. And this persistent volume claim, you can get it here. And this volume here, volume, you claim the volume. You see it here? Can you tell me, can you attach a volume without PVC? No. Can you claim without PV? No. So first what you need to create? PV you need to create. After that, what you need to create? PVC you need to create. So end of the day, PVC will come inside the pot. So PV, persistent volume, is like a centralized storage. You can get it from anywhere. I'm getting it from where? EBS volume. And persistent volume is there. And then how much ever you want, you claim it from that particular persistent volume PV. Can you create multiple PVCs or not? Got the point? PV and PVCs online. Online, oh, is this clear, please? Of course. We can create multiple PVs also. So will you be end with only 20 GB? No, you can create multiple volumes and you can have multiple PVs and you can have multiple PVCs. The only reference you need to take it, when you're creating a PVC, you need to take the reference of PV. If you have another PV, you take the reference of that PV. Online, everyone, can I get a CC on this, please? Okay. Persistent meaning what, Nana? Online, can I get a CC, please? Because without your CCs, I cannot move on, please. There is in your keyboard, you know the letter called V? V letter. Next to that C is there. Press that 2 times. सब लोग ढूंढ रहे. Where is V? What is letter next to it? Press that 2 times. Yes. Yes. Command. Okay. Yeah. See, Rajesh is giving CC, right? Yeah. Nice. Okay. PVs are independent. They can exist even the pod is using them or not. PVs are independent. If something goes wrong with the pod also, this will exist or not? That is the concept of PV. It is created by whom? Administrator, or dynamically created by something called storage class. What Kubernetes has a concept called storage class. It uses a local storage and then create it dynamically. And then once PV is created, it can be bound to PVC, which is a request for a storage by a pod. When pod requests storage via PVC, Kubernetes will search for the suitable PV. When the Kubernetes here, when the pod requests the PVC, Kubernetes will check for the suitable PV. Wherever you have the storage, Kubernetes will create a claim for it and then attach to the pod. So can we say PV is bound to the PVC and the pod can use the storage or not? Super. So I have given you all the stuff here. Okay. Should we go and do the practicals on this PV and PVC? Okay. Online, you understand the theoretical part of PV and PVC, please? So for that, what do we need to create, Anna? Yeah. So we need to create a volume or not? Let's create a volume. How do you create a volume? You know or not? Go to volumes and create one 20 GB worst volume. Hmm? The worst volume is okay, and then I go with what? 20 GB. In which availability zone? 1. And then go and click on it volume. Okay. So volume got created, and this is the volume, right? So grab the volume ID. We'll come back. So what is the first thing I need to create? Do I need to create PV na PVC na? Everyone online, tell me which one I need to create. Guys, in which namespace I'm in now? Default only, no? So, kubectl get NS. Oh, Dev is there. What's the command to delete? Kubectl delete namespace. Which one? Yeah. There's nothing. I'm just cleaning up. Okay. So we need to create what, Nana, here? We need to create what? PV first. What we need to create? PV. Let's go for my, which one? PV.yml. Okay. So let's take this. Get this, guys. See it. What is the kind I'm using here? Persistent volume. What's the kind I'm using? Persistent volume. What is the name of my PV? My hyphen PV. What's the storage capacity? 20 GB. What's the volume I'm using? This is the volume. So can I get the ID of the volume or not? Copy the volume ID. And then yes or no? Somewhere your volume is in AWS, EBS volume. That is there. But you need to get that EBS volume here in Kubernetes, no? So how to create that storage? That is PV only. Persistent volume. How much size is that? 20 GB. And what's the file system type it is using? ext4. So we have done this in Docker also, right? We mounted it and then we have formatted it, remember? Okay. Online is clear enough? Now let's create that. What's the command? kubectl create -f my PV. So PV got created. What's the command to list? kubectl get PV. So how much GB is this here? Status is available. Guys, generally we have this habit. Once you created the volume, do you attach it to the EC2 instance here? No need to attach. We are using that external storage here. If we refresh it, what happens is, this is in available state. Many of the so-called AWS engineers, one bhayanak thing they do, they'll come here and say, I told, hey, Sid, go ahead and then do the cost optimization on EC2. Go and deleted all available volumes and unused volumes. And you came here, sir, there is available. No one is using, sir. What do you do? Select delete. And that Kubernetes wala come and then start crying with you. Arey. So for that reason, tagging is important. Tag them properly here. Can we use S3? Hey, come on, how do you use S3? S3 is just for only for what purpose? Storage purpose. So this is not a file system. No, S3 is not a file system. No. Prajwal, you cannot use it. Okay, Runa, we created a PV. So next, what I need to create? PVC I need to create. What is that? PVC. So same thing. VI PVC dot. See that? What is the kind I'm using here? Person volume claim. So read write, and then what is the storage size is? Correct, Samalika. Volume is a EBS, elastic block storage. So S3 is a what based storage? Object based storage. Sumalika. Okay, let's create the PVC. kubectl. Create -f PVC. PVC also got created. kubectl get PVC. This will take time. It's pending. It's creating. Okay. Okay. So now PV got created. PVC also got created. Now what we need to do? We claim it from the pod or not? Yes or no? So here I go with vi deploy dot YAML. All kind is what? Deployment. So I am saying here PV deploy replicas. How many I'm creating? One. Everything is same. Containers is also same. See here. What's the name of the container? Container one. Image I'm using what? CentOS, and the command something I'm using it. See here. Volume mounts. So here in the volume section, what is the claim name? What is the PVC name I'm using before? My-PVC or not? So I'm claiming the PVC, a persistent volume claim. Persistent volume claim. So here you already created a PV, but in the pods, what you need to do? You need to claim it, no? So what is the command here using? Persistent volume claim. So what is the claim name that you already created? Two things you created. You created PV, you created PVC. That PVC that you need to call it here or not? Claim name is what? PVC. Understood? So, and this volume that you are claiming, how much size is this? 20 GB that I mentioned in the my PVC or not? That one you are mounting in one of the container under /temp persistent. You need to EBS volume you created, no? You need to attach that to the EC2 instance or not? I created PV 20 GB. I created PVC, and then I need to call that PVC inside the pod or not? Okay, in the deployment file, I have called the PVC. What is the name of the PVC I called here? My PV, right? So PVC should be there. Okay, my PV, and the same these volumes I need to attach to the my container or not? I need to attach to the container or not? So in which path you are attaching it? /temp. Remember in Docker also we created volumes. We created the volume, we attach the volumes to the container or not? Similarly, the PVC that you have created, you need to attach it to the container. No one will ask to write the deployment files in interview. But if any worst guy is there, then he will ask. Right? But at least you should remember the logic. Guys, try to see that file for a 1 or 2 minutes, please. Everything are interlinked. Are you calling PV directly to the pod? Are you calling PV or PVC? PVC. You cannot call directly PV. PV is just a centralized storage that you have created. And then you created PV and you created PVC separately. That PVC you need to call it here in the manifest file. You called it and you named it as what here? My PV. And this one you need to mount it or not? This one you are mounting it to /temp.present. Now if I run this manifest file, a container, how many containers will, how many pods will create here? One pod. If I log into the pod and if I go to the /temp and in persistent directory, indirectly I'm creating files in the EBS volume or not? Yes or no? Guys, yes or no? So if I write it here, indirectly it is going here, here, and then sitting here. So to call this external storage to the pod, I created first a PV, I created a PVC, and I'm claiming that PVC here in the pod. And then this is I'm mounting to the inside the pod. I'm calling the PVC here in the deployment file. I'm mounting it to the pod. Online, you got the concept, please. Everyone, please. Anything you want me to repeat, please let me know. Guys, this command, don't worry, you can put anything here. I'm just putting that sleep command. You can share the volumes. You can share the volumes. So volumes can be shared across the pods or not? Okay. Online, I need your responses, please. Is this clear? No. Concept, but uh, logic. Logic is same. What is the difference between NFS vmount and this VBC? Logic is same. Logic is what? Same. NFS is network file system or not? You have the file system somewhere and you're mounting it here. EFS we did it, no? Remember EFS we did it. So somewhere you created the centralized storage and you're mounting it to the EC2 instance. Here also, concept is through network file storage only. But the thing is through the Kubernetes concept. So directly you cannot mount our EBS volume to the pods. Pod is a small single process that is, it's an object. It's a single process object which is created by a Kubernetes. It's a very small thing. That is somewhere inside the worker node. In the Kubernetes cluster, you have master worker node in container region. Somewhere it is getting created. How can you attach the external storage directly to the pod? Possible? Not at all possible. For that reason, so slowly you need to, as you said, bind everything one by one. For that reason, what we do, externally we created what? One EBS volume. That is the storage. Just imagine you can have 1 terabyte also or not. You can have 1 terabyte also. You created an external storage. And then from that, you need to bring that external storage in the Kubernetes or not. So how do you bring it? By creating PV. By creating what? PV. You created the PV. And this PV, can you call into any pod also or not? I created one replica. Can you create 10 replicas and same PV can be shared or not? Okay. You are creating the manifest file. How do you call that PV here in manifest file? Using PVC. Using what here? PVC. So you are calling this here volumes. So persistent volume claim. You created already called my PVC or not? I'm referring that already created my PVC. Now you are getting the volumes here in the manifest file and you have to mount that to your container or not. And then you go with the mount path. This path can be any path. So if the pod is deleted also, my data is still there or not? I'll show you. See, Rajesh. So, but is this clear here? Let's run this command. Wait. kubectl create -f deploy created up kubectl get pods. So container is getting created. Why have we only one? Because I have given only one container. So container is getting created. Let's wait. Once it is created, can I log into the pod inside using kubectl exec and all? And then I go to which directory? /temp /persistent. So indirectly I'm sitting inside the EBS volume. Now I create the few files there. I'll come back. I'll delete the bloody container. Right? And then what will happen? As it is cluster, it will recreate another container, another pod or not? Yes or no? But my still data will be there or not? Now it is running. Tell me the command to go inside it. kubectl hyphen it hyphen bin hash space. Okay, cd slash temp slash. See, I'm here. Now I create the touch. How many files I create? Touch file 1, 2. How many? 10 I'll create. How many files are there? 10 files are there or not? Come back. Delete this pod. kubectl delete pods deleted. So this is a concept, right? If the pod is deleted, my data is deleted. My data is deleted. Let's see. Okay. Why took this much time? Because it's self-healed or not? kubectl get pods. We have another pod running. So let's go inside it. Command kubectl exec hyphen it and then pods. We'll give the pod name. Okay. And then hyphen bin bash. cd. Okay. I clear it. Okay, that is not there inside the bash. Okay. cd slash temp slash first 10. Do you have the files or not? If the pod deleted, still my data is still there inside my EBS volume. What is this called? This is called stateless or stateful. State stomach full. That meaning state full. Data is full. So this is called stateful. And if we have application inside that pod, we call it as stateful application. If there is no PVC, PV concept at all, and the pod is Gaya, data is also gone. That is called stateless applications. Is this clear? PV and PVC? Online? Will you able to do this practicals? Okay, let's say, okay, so guys, exit. If I want to, how much GB is that? 20 GB, right? If I want to increase to 200 GB, okay, let's say 30 GB. What's that? 30 GB. Can I increase or not? You know how to increase. Modify volume, increase to 30. Here, what I need to do? Where I need to do the modification? That's it. In the PV, you create what? You modify it from 20 to 30 GB. And PVC also, you modify to how much ever you want. PV you created 30 GB. PVC also there or not? Right? Yeah. In that PVC also we have mentioned 20 GB. There also you mention how much ever you want and then claim it when you're creating the deployments. Yes. Which scenario will come into the real time? Dinesh, in real time, if you have databases running, you want the database should be stateful or stateless? Stateful. So in that case, definitely, if you have the database running inside the one of the pod, and pod self-healing is there, but data, you should keep it somewhere in the external storage or not. In that case, we go with the PV and PVC. And then applications also, if you have some application which data is storing somewhere, so for every application also, what you can do? You can mount how we have mounted here. We are using the same image or not? Same application we have doing deployments, everything. Yes or no? See here, cat PVC. PVC. What is the last one we created? Deploy, no? Okay, see here. Here I using what? Deployment. So can I use my own application image here? Yes or no? And then you can use this entire stuff. And can you write a multi-manifest file saying that you can expose the service to internet or not with load balancer? Okay. Application is working on the stateful. Yes or no? This is how we do it in the real time. Okay. I already crossed 10 minutes extra. Online clear, Nana? Will you able to do this? What are the things we have learned today? Today we started with metric server and then auto scaling, scale out, scale in automatically we did. We did through command also, we did through manifest file also. After that, resource quotas we have seen, multiple scenarios we have seen, and then PV and then PVC and then how to do the deployment. Stateful application, stateless applications. Okay, practice. Okay, super. Online, can I give the final CC for today, please? Mail them. Mail them, Nayan, please. What is the command to delete the cluster? KOps. Delete cluster hyphen name. Hyphen name dot aids dot local hyphen. Okay. So do you all agree we are going much deeper on Kubernetes? Huh? Too much deep, but I'll cover maximum things in the Kubernetes. So, and if you do well practice, you can easily clear Kubernetes CK certification also. So I'm keeping that in mind and teaching you. Otherwise, as a normal DevOps, this much deeper is not at all required. So to give you the best, I'm giving the maximum things. Please practice well so that make comfort. And once you delete the cluster, additional 20 GB, that you need to delete it. Okay. So that's all for today. Let's connect tomorrow with the next beautiful topics. Until then, take care, guys. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.